Thanks, Kerry. My name is Mark Davidson, and I'm the CEO of Cheggin. We make it fun and easy to follow sports with your friends. I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine. His name is Joe. He grew up here in Austin, and he's a big Texas Longhorns fan. He's been one ever since he was little. Now, sports is a major part of Joe's social life. He loves talking about the Longhorns, he loves going out to events, and he loves having his friends over to watch the Longhorns play. Now, Joe recently moved to Seattle, and he's made some good friends there, and he's part of the Longhorns community. But Joe wants to feel like he's part of something bigger. He misses talking about the Longhorns with his friends and family across the country, and he wants to feel like he's connected to his friends in Seattle when they can't meet up for the game. But connecting with his friends while following sports just isn't as easy as it should be. The problem is that there's no good way for him to connect with his friends while following the Longhorns and supporting them. So what Joe does is he improvises by using social technologies that weren't designed for sports. On game days, Joe finds himself on Facebook, tripping over baby pictures as he checks to see if anybody else is watching the game. He tweets on Twitter, but nobody on Twitter ever listens to anything. He text messages his friends, but texting it's slow and clumsy, and he just doesn't get very far. And he starts conversations on GroupMe, but the conversations are disjointed because Joe and his friends are switching between technologies, trying to track down their fantasy stats and check game information. So Joe often feels like he's left hanging, like Tom Brady looking for a high five. There are millions of people like Joe across the world, and they are active fans. In this March Madness basketball tournament alone, 1.5 billion messages are being sent. And of people that use social media to follow sports, over 50% now do so during the game. The problem is there's no good way for all these friends and fans to connect and support their teams in real time, and that's why we built Cheggin. Cheggin is a better way to chat and connect with your friends while following sports. Think of us kind of like a WhatsApp for sports fans, except we're the first mobile messenger with built-in game information, scores, and the statistics that sports fans crave. When Joe logs into Cheggin, he sees a list of the games that his friends are following, along with the conversations that they're having. If he wants to join a game, all he has to do is check in, and it's easy to invite his friends to the action. Once he's checked in, he can cheer and support a team. He can choose to just have a conversation with other people or have a private conversation with his friends. And if Joe wants those statistics to check his fantasy line, all he has to do is swipe over. All his game information is right there. So Joe loves Cheggin because it delivers a holistic social sports experience unlike anything else that he can find. Now, we released Cheggin in closed beta about a month ago, and our goal was to answer one question. Can we deliver and create a gripping social sports experience? And the answer is yes. In our pilot campaigns over March Madness, we had over 1,000 downloads from 47 different states. Hundreds of people were checking into games, cheering and supporting their teams in real time. But what got us really excited was when we checked our engagement metrics. What we found is that users are on Cheggin for 4.5 minutes per session. Do you know what the average is in the App Store for other apps? It's 1 minute per session. What that means is that people are on Cheggin 4.5 times longer than they are other apps in the App Store. They scroll through 9 screens per session, and 97% of users return. Now, those are some addictive engagement stats. Now, we believe that our users are so active on Cheggin because we've created a social sports experience they can't find anywhere else. While other apps are focused on content aggregation or news generation, Cheggin is focused on building community around sports moments as they happen. Cheggin expands the size of your living room so you can enjoy sports with the friends that you want. So we've come a long way. When we first got here to DreamIt, all we had was an idea and a pitch deck. And 2 short months later, we have a working product that's feeding a growing community. And that's what happens when you have an amazing team like I do. Andre is our chief product officer and our front-end developer. He went to UPenn, and before Cheggin, he built a Vine competitor all by himself called Smoothie. Mark Garrow is our chief technology officer and our full-stack engineer. He got a computer science degree from Harvard, and he has 7 years of entrepreneurial experience. And before Cheggin, I built 2 successful marketing companies with $4.5 million in sales. So Cheggin's moving fast. We've already validated our market. We've validated user engagement, and we've validated user loyalty. Our next step is to kickstart virality. We're raising $500,000 to help us accelerate growth, to expand to iPhone, and to integrate new sports into Cheggin. Cheggin really benefits from the network effect, and our users are already clamoring for us to expand to iPhone so that they can share Cheggin with their friends. They also want us to add new and integrate new sports into Cheggin, such as MLB baseball, NHL hockey, and NFL football. And we have a massive opportunity on the horizon with one of the biggest sporting events in the world, this summer, World Cup. We already have $100,000 committed, and we're going to be raising through April. So, if you're looking for a fun new way to enjoy the rest of this March Madness tournament and curse at your bracket, if you believe that friends don't let friends watch sports alone, then grab a phone, check in, and join the game.